Hello, I'm Nigel.
I'm Anders. We're here for a cheeky extra. Nige,
Yeah,
tell me what you got there.
we just filmed a couple of episodes with some unusual beers.
We did, didn't we? Yeah.
We felt we wanted just grounding with I've gone for a proper beer.
Something proper, absolutely. Yeah.
Proper beer. I've gone for Armbreaker IPA.
Armbreaker IPA.
6%. It's a local brewery to me in Herefordshire, and it's just an English IPA. Proper beer.
Lovely. And sorry, what was the percentage on that?
6%.
6%. Lovely.
That's from Swann Brewery. Armbreaker comes from a nod to the widespread belief that the swans can break a man's arm, Yeah.
They can, absolutely. Yes. On behalf of the Queen. So there we go. I've gone, because I'm being a little bit obsessed by stouts at the moment.
Yeah.
I've gone, it's called Albino Pheasant, and it's by Verdant.
I like the can.
Yeah. Verdant Brewery are based down in Falmouth.
Yeah.
They are one of my favourite breweries. They're great.
Yeah.
It's an export stout, and it comes in at 7.7.
Wow. That's a big boy's beer.
It's a big boy's beer, absolutely. And so there we go.
Would you like to pour first and show?
Shall I pour first then, shall I?
The viewers before I put beer cam on.
Right, peeps, let's have a look and see what's going on here. Oh,
have you got some aroma straight away?
Absolutely. I mean, look at that. That looks like oil. It's that black. It's like a scene from There Will Be Blood. Oh, that is, I mean, the colour of that head. Reddish brown.
Yeah, I can see.
Rusty.
Wow.
The scent is heavily, I'd say, coffee.
Yeah, I could tell by the head that it's got quite a lot of roasted malt in there. Yeah.
But yeah, that's I'm quite excited about this.
Anyway,
where are you going? Go on.
I'll get the beer can on. Well, it's looking quite pale. I was expecting something. I think I was just a little darker. There you go. Can't see in this front one, but on beer can it picks up the lightness.
Okay.
Oh, that's most pleasant.
Does that smell like beer?
Yeah, proper beer.
Proper beer, yeah.
It's a malty floral aroma coming off this.
Mm-hmm.
Not much. It's just, I'm hoping that this is going to be really good.
Okay, well,
to this.
Shall we go in then, shall we? Let's go in, Chin Chin. I won't do that anymore, I'm sorry. Wow. Genuinely, I'd be surprised if I get through this. This.
One slice at a time.
It is chewy. It really is. Very rich. I think Oh, I mean, the taste is all encompassing. It's big, it's bold. There's a great body to it. But what am I getting? Am I getting chocolate and coffee? Hmm. Getting coffee at the end, but at the beginning there's some getting dark fruits.
Yeah, it's not raisins, is it? Because I know what your relationship with raisins is not good.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that's the case, and I really wish you hadn't said that. Power of suggestion and everything. It certainly does have a. I would say it has almost an almondy taste to it.
All right.
Yeah.
I know I'm not that keen on coffee, but I'd love to have tasted that.
There's a lot going on. It's as Verdant do some magnificent beers, all superbly crafted. But this one's going to test me. This one, I think. How's yours?
Going down quite quick, actually. It's must say you can taste the 6%. Well, no, it's hidden enough. It's light enough, and I'm drinking. I could drink this like a best bitter. It's
Okay.
I like my old-fashioned English IPAs and best bitters. This hits the spot. I'm happy with this.
Good. Just going back to this for a sec, I will say that you really can taste the strength in this.
Yeah,
It really is quite.
I think that
potent.
When you get above 7% with a lot of beers, I think it's very hard to disguise that, unless it's just ridiculously sweet.
Yes. So yeah, intriguing.
Yes, but anyway, enough about the beer.
Enough of the beer.
What's that? Terraplane.
Do you know Terraplane?
Oh, it's not another prog rock band, is it?
No.
All right.
No, Terraplane are I would class them as a pop rock band. Heavier side of pop rock. But with some really catchy riffs and tunes and things. I managed to get 2 albums out, and that was it. They disbanded.
I've heard the name of the band before.
Yeah.
I've never heard
Black and White's
anything.
their first album.
Yeah.
Which has got some good tunes on it. The second I don't have. I forgot what it's called now. The second album had some really good pop tunes on there. I would put them in the same category as perhaps Def Leppard.
All right.
In as much as they had that polished sound to them, but they were.
I was going to say, is it that polished metal sound?
It's not quite as polished. I mean, let's face it, Def Leppard were polished to.
Well, it went from pop. It went from a little bit more grungy. Was it? What was the one before Hysteria?
Pyromania.
Pyromania.
Yeah.
I remember listening to that and I thinking, wow, it did sound polished, but then Hysteria took polish to a new level.
It really did, didn't it? And that's a good analogy you make there. I think Terraplane was probably a little bit more Pyromania.
Yeah.
But then, and here's the crux of the matter, they split up, and the singer, guitarist, and drummer went on and formed Thunder.
Yeah.
You know Thunder?
No.
Thunder. Oh, Thunder, Terraplane basically became Thunder, who then became a more blues orientated rock band. And they were far better for it, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Their first album, Backstreet Symphony, is an absolute corker. And I think I saw them. I think I saw it at Monsters of Rock.
Okay.
My memories of Monsters of Rock are jaded by alcohol.
It's amazing how we've both got interest and passion for music.
Yeah.
But we don't have a lot of crossover of the stumps.
No, we don't. No. Although we I mean, the one thing that comes to mind as far as crossover is concerned, we're both fans of Sabbath.
Boomtown Rats, when we
Boomtown Rats, yeah. But then, I've found a whole load of stuff that you were quite surprised about, like Joni Mitchell.
Yeah, which is, I didn't think you went for that hippy dippy rubbish.
I'm a hippy dippy at heart.
Let's not go down the Joni Mitchell route, or you'll be here 10 minutes.
No, let's not argue, because I will clear up about it. But no, I think I saw them at the Monsters of Rock,
which I never ever went to. It was that sort of yearly pilgrimage from all the greasers from school used to go up to.
Yeah. I went. I think I took your brother. I did take your brother.
Yeah. That was the AC/DC one, wasn't it?
That was AC/DC, and again the lineups. Do you know what? This is unprofessional, but I'm going to look it up now. On the basis that I need to remember.
You get to that age.
Of rock, yeah. And I know the bands that I saw, but I just can't remember which ones they were at. So I went twice.
Yeah.
The first time I went, that was Iron Maiden headlining.
So what was the first heavy metal band you saw live?
The first band I saw live, not really heavy metal, was Status Quo.
Yeah, well, yeah. You would have seen them in the 80s, but in the 70s they had honorary status of heavy metal because they were loud and they were a bit more grungy. Then they got very poppy sound in the 80s.
So 1984 would have been that was their End of the Road tour.
All right. It was that Alan Lancaster still on bass then?
Yeah.
All right. Oh, well, you saw the proper Quo then.
Yeah, Alan Lancaster, Pete Kircher on drums, and Andy Bone on keyboards.
Brilliant.
And that was their End of the Road tour because they weren't going to tour ever again.
Yeah.
And then they started touring every year. So
no need to ask, was it a good gig?
I was yes, it was.
Yeah, I thought they'd be good live.
It was it could, I mean, like, it could have been anybody. The whole experience was just
all right. What was your first proper heavy metal band that you saw live?
You know, I don't know. It must be. Yeah, I'm going for Iron Maiden.
I'm trying to think. Oh, it might have actually been Black Sabbath or Motorhead. I can't remember which one I saw first.
Really? I never saw Motorhead.
Motorhead were brilliant. I put cotton wool in my ears before the thing.
That's a sensible thing to do.
It was at the Academy.
Oh, okay.
There's a story here. And the Academy, for the viewers, is a converted theatre. It is a beautiful venue. It's a great place, isn't it? Apparently Led Zeppelin played there in the 70s. That's its claim to fame.
Okay.
But as a gig venue, it's fantastic because you got the dance floor bit at the bottom where everyone's stuffed in, and then there's another layer which used to be the old
Yes, that's right. Yes.
bars upstairs, and so people packed around them. These big double stairs coming into the dance floor from the balcony, and I was stood under there, watching the band, and someone poured. I had long hair at the time. Longish hair. Someone poured half a pint of beer over my head. I was just about to give him a load, and it must have been a guy who was about 8 foot wide and about 8 foot tall, leather jacket, hair, who was very inebriated, just hanging up with his pint, and it was just spilling out. I thought, I don't think I'll say anything to him because he just wouldn't have noticed me.
No, he wouldn't have. No, and I do think that metal fans are probably the nicest people you could wish to meet.
Yes, as a poured up. It's all right, mate.
A sweet bunch.
That because you would have been mortified, I'm sure, if you'd phoned.
I'm sure he would have been. Yeah,
because he'd spilled half his beer.
Yeah,
nothing else.
Anyway, sorry, I've just quickly looked up who was at.
Oh yeah.
That's one I was talking about. I haven't seen Thunder. After all of that, I don't think I have.
All right.
I don't think I have. The one I went to Donington in '91 with your brother.
Yeah.
Saw the Black Crows, Queensryche.
Oh wow.
There's a crossover. Motley Crue, who
I've never really got on with them.
No. And Tally was second on the bill to AC/DC. So that was all right. But
Queensryche and AC/DC would be worth going for, I think.
Yeah, I think so. And Metallica were all right.
Yeah.
And then the first time that I went in '88, that was it was a band called Halloween. They were a Swiss metal band.
Right.
And they bought that. They were slightly proggy metal. And it didn't quite work. And it was they were first on the bill.
Metal.
Not necessarily so.
But it was.
Wind it in. Yes, it was. But
there you go.
Yeah, all right. And it was hot and it was sunny. And we'd all had a few drinks and we just lay there not really
paying attention
to anything. And then second on the bill was Guns N' Roses.
In their early days.
Appetite for Destruction had been out for a couple of weeks, I think, if I remember correctly.
What a time to see Guns N' Roses.
Yeah. And I have to say, they turned the place upside down. It was amazing. Unfortunately, don't want to bring it down too much, but there were a couple of people died that day.
Yeah.
Due to crowd squishing, and that happened during Guns N' Roses.
That's sad.
And it is sad, but not surprising because everybody went absolutely mental for it.
Oh, wow.
So sad, but they were amazing. Megadeth came on afterwards.
Have another sleep.
Well, a bit noisy. It's like actually, in fairness, it's like listening to white noise.
Sometimes it can help you sleep.
Yeah. That was followed by David Lee Roth.
Fantastic.
Who I absolutely adore.
Yeah, what a showman.
He was, and I have to say, didn't work.
No.
Too big.
The venue just didn't work for him.
Venue didn't work. Too big, and also the sound in those days at outdoor gigs like that was just awful.
Yeah.
So
I'll say by that time, was he second on the bill?
No.
All right. By that, people are just getting fed up and they just want the final act, don't they?
Yeah. I think most people enjoyed David Lee Roth, but it was just not as good as it could be.
Yeah. But who was
Who
was next then?
Kiss.
All right.
I've never got on with Kiss.
No, I think I'd like to have seen them live though, or wasn't that much.
I wasn't that excited by it, to be honest with you.
And then it was Iron Maiden heading.
Yeah.
Quite a nice lineup. I think I would rather went to that one than the other.
Yeah, well, I think Guns N' Roses really was kind
It
of
would have been worth it just for that. And also, I've never seen Iron Maiden. I'd love to have seen them live.
Yeah.
Anyway, I've almost finished my beer. And
Me too. And I think it's probably about time to wrap it up.
yes. Nice.
Give me your theories on your how's your beer progressed?
Yeah, almost finished.
Staying the same taste wise?
Yeah, I'll definitely buy that again next time I see it. And your beer?
This hasn't been as tricky as I thought it might have been.
Oh, that's good. I thought, has it stayed true all the way through?
It has, yeah, it really has. It's lost nothing. It's still as chewy and as rich as it was when it first started.
Marvelous.
But quality, it's not something I'd necessarily jump on straight away again.
No. Well, that's the thing. You've got all these different beers. You have one, and you think, oh, that was all right. You think, well, I would get it again, but you never do because there's something else you want to try.
Yeah, absolutely. And even the breweries themselves are kind of like, we'll put out this stout, this export stout, and that'll be around for a year or so.
And they'll never brew it ever again.
Never brew it again. Move on to another export stout. So
that's the nature of the microbreweries. They've got to keep getting, because people keep tasting different things. You go and buy it, and you buy something you've never had before.
Yeah.
Rather than just thinking, right, this is good, I'm just going to keep selling this, because it doesn't sell then.
No.
Marketing.
It is.
Anyway.
Do the stuff.
Yeah, like, subscribe, please write a comment. We always reply. And see you next time. So bye for now.
Yeah. Cheerio. Bye-bye.